Alright guys, we're going to do some servicing on our Infiniti Q50 Red Sport. Today we're going to do a complete oil change. I'm going to show you start to finish how to do it. Take you about 20-30 minutes. And basic tools. Of course you need an oil drain pan. You need a funnel. I use my cordless drill here with a Phillips bit to get to the access of the filter. 14mm 3/8 drive ratchet. And I use my soft jaws channel locks over here to get the filter off. And like I said, it's a very, very simple procedure. I'm going to show you start to finish. We're going to go over the car and I'm going to show you exactly how I set the car up to service any car, not just this car, to make your life a lot easier. So let me move the camera around and I'm going to show you. Alright guys, just want to show you how I have the car set up on these wooden stands that I make. And I do all my servicing on all of my cars that way. And you guys could just see how much easier it is to get under the car. It's a lot safer than being up on jack stands or just crawling under the car on the jack itself, which I don't feel is safe. And I'm just going to move the camera around and I'll just show you. You know, I always use, you know, one of these Blitz drip pans, and then I put the drain pan on that, just in case if anything ever spills. And I'm going to show you right here. I mean, this is a relatively easy oil change. There's two Phillips screws here. This plastic panel comes down and that's the access to the oil filter, and then the drain plug is right there. That's a 14mm drain plug, so relatively easy. So I'm going to get everything set up and I'm going to show you start to finish. Alright guys, I'm going to first start off by removing the access panel for the oil filter. And having these 12-volt cordless drills just makes your life a lot easier. And there we go. Just put those to the side. And you can see the filter is right up in here. Relatively easy to get to. So I'm going to go undo the drain plug right now. Move the camera out of the way. And I'm going to try to see if I can get this so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, just break it loose. And then you can actually do it with your hand. I'm going to try to just move the drain pan so you guys can see what's going on down here. Alright guys, I cracked the drain plug here, and I'm doing it by hand. There we go. And I usually wait about like 15 to 20 or so minutes to get the oil pan to be fully drained out. That's just the way I do it. And of course you gotta have some rags, you know, laying around, some shop towels. You guys can see what's going on. I mean, this is an easy job. I mean, you guys could do it yourself. But if you're going to do it in your driveway, just be prepared. You probably will make a mess if you're not prepared. I mean, I do this all the time, so for me it's easy. So I'm going to pause the camera now. I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes with the thing running while I drain the oil, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the filter removal and the rest of the oil change. Alright guys, we're back. We finished the oil drain, and I'm going to put the drain plug back in. And like I said, you don't want to kill this as far as the torque. You just want to get it snug because this is a composite oil pan, and if you try to overdo it, you're going to crack the oil pan and you're going to be in trouble. So you just want to give it... Okay, we're snug. So we're done on that. I'm going to move the camera over. I'm going to pull everything out and I'm going to show you how we get the oil filter out easily. Alright guys, you can see up here, this is where the oil filter is. I mean, you can use an oil filter wrench, but to be honest with you, I'd rather just use my soft jaw open-end pliers, and like, look, I'm just grabbing it, and you just give it a little bit of a turn, and you can just easily loosen it up. It's a lot easier than getting the filter wrench with the ratchet and everything out. And this is, you see, it's going to spill, but it's going to go right into the oil pan, into the drain pan over here. Okay, and that's it. So we're going to let that drain out for a couple of minutes. I'm going to clean all this up with some shop towels, a little bit of Prepsol, which is like a degreaser. It takes all of this, you know, stuff off the sway bar and this plastic piece. Put the new filter back on, and then we're gonna finish up the oil change. All right, guys, we're back. I'm just gonna clean this up here with some of the Scot shop towels. These are great if you're gonna do any kind of service work on a car. And like I said, having Prepsol is awesome because, especially when you're doing anything automotive, mechanical, it just eats into any of the grease, the oil, transmission fluid, anything like that. Like if you have to get it off your floor or any other component under the car, it just seems to work the best, you know, for me, and it evaporates. I mean, some guys like to use brake clean. I don't like to use brake clean to do stuff like this just because it makes more of a mess. And, you know, if you're not using the non-chlorinated stuff, you could actually damage paint and everything else. All right, so we got that all clean. And I already prepped the new oil filter with a little bit of oil around the sealing ring, which is here. And we're just going to screw this on by hand. And we're using a Fram filter this time around, just because it was just the easiest to get today. And you don't want to kill it. Like I said, you want it on tight, and you want to have oil on the sealing ring. Otherwise, you won't know if it's all the way snug. Okay, so we're tight. That's not coming off. And you can do it by hand. You don't need to put a wrench on that. So we're going to just put the flap back on, and then we're going to drop the car down, and we're going to fill it with oil and check it. Guys, we got the car down on the ground, new filter in, drain plug tightened down, and you're going to want to pop the engine cover off just by lifting up. Comes right off. And here's your oil fill right here. Okay. And then we're going to grab a funnel, and we're going to start loading the new oil in. I have my female assistant helping with this today because it's her car. Okay, all right, next. And the car takes like a little over 5 quarts. So we're gonna put 5 in. We're gonna start it up, we're gonna check the oil level and see where we're at. And if we have to do any kind of top offs, we'll do it afterwards. So that's 3. And this oil change process is pretty much across the board on any of these Q50s and Q60 models. It's the 5th one, right? All right, so we're gonna let this one sit. All right, grab me a shop towel. Then we're gonna put the drain, the fill cap back on. Start it up, and then we're going to check the oil level. Okay. Just so you don't make a mess. And then I'm going to show you guys what I do with the old oil, because I drop it off and I get it recycled. You can't dump it in your storm drain or anything like that. All right, we just started the engine for a few minutes. We're going to let it drain back down, and we're going to check the oil level right now to see if we need to top anything off. It seems good so far. I usually pull it out and then do it again. Yeah, so it's a little on the low side, so we're going to have to top it off. So according to the owner's manual, they're saying like 5.5, 5 3/4 of quarts of oil when you do the filter, the oil filter with the oil change. I don't know why anyone would change the oil without doing the filter, but maybe there's some people that do it that way. I'm going to put 1/2 quart. Okay. You can take that away. Okay. You want to start the car up again? The key's in the car. Start it up. Don't run me over. All right, shut it down. And we're going to recheck the oil. And if you get any drips, just go over it, you know, with a towel. It's not going to cause any issues. Usually the drips come from the funnel. Okay. So there's an L and an H on the dipstick, if you guys could see that. You want to either get it in the middle between those two marks. It's pretty safe. Yeah, and we're good. So we're like perfect. Alright, good. So it took 5.5 quarts on this oil change. And we're just going to pop the engine cover back on, and we're done. So I hope you guys liked the video. I'm going to post a link to the soft jaw pliers that I use to get the filter off and the oil filter itself if you guys want to do this stuff yourself, including the drain pan I used and the Blitz steel drain pan that goes on the floor. Otherwise you're going to go nuts making a mess all over your driveway. Take care. Thanks. Guys, as a supplement, I just want to show you what I do with the recycled oil. I usually retain the containers from windshield washer fluid. I usually save these because I put the oil from the drain pan with a smaller funnel into here, and then you know, I drop it off at recycling or at the auto parts store where I get my oil. So always have the metal drip pan on the floor, your oil pan on the drip pan, and have a helper, because sometimes if this jug moves, it could tip over and now you have a big mess. Have some rags laying around, but like I said, it's a pretty straightforward procedure. I'm going to show you guys now how I do it. You go nice and easy. And these windshield washer containers are great for doing this. So next time you buy a windshield washer fluid bottle, don't throw it out, save it. I mean, you could use it for stuff around the house, you could use it for oil changes, whatever your heart's desire. And like I said, you have to have a helper when you do this, because someone has to hold the funnel and make sure that the bottle doesn't go all over the place. So there we go. Alright guys, any questions or comments, post them in the comments section below. See you later. GT350 oil change is coming up this week.